Has even Bill Maher finally had it? He's finally had to admit the truth. And he is in a conversation with Cuomo, the old New York guy, and Adam Kinzinger in this one. And Elise Stefanik's going to step in too from another speech. We're bringing all this together on what exactly happened with Alvin Bragg in New York and how he's basically the biggest help to Trump. Trump owes him a thank you. And we have a clip from Trump also in a recent event out in Philly where he's finally free from his lawsuits enough to do a little bit of campaigning before his next one. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Love it if you guys would click a thumbs up, leave a comment. It helps push this video out all over. And of course, always subscribe. Here we go. Bill Maher.
The trial in New York, the one he got convicted for, was the greatest fundraising bonanza ever. He was lagging behind Biden, and now he's pulled quite a bit ahead.
And I'm not so sure if Bill Maher's even upset, because now he's just going, the Democrats are blowing it so bad, they almost deserve it. But here's Elise Stefanik on that lawsuit with Alvin Bragg.
What the American people are seeing through is this, at the same time as this catastrophic crime crisis, we're seeing the illegal weaponization of our courts and radical district attorneys like Alvin Bragg going after Joe Biden's chief political opponent, that is Donald J. Trump.
She's at a Faith and Freedom conference, and Trump spoke at this one also. It's fantastic. She is calling out Alvin Bragg basically for what he did illegally with our courts, and that's going to still be worked out through our court system. And remember, Trump's sentencing date is coming up next month, and I do believe Juan Merchan will throw him in prison because of the he's gone along with every false idea about Trump already, that I don't see why he'd suddenly turn around and find a conscience now. But let's get back to Bill Maher.
That trial was the greatest reason people had to send their checks for 5, 10, 25, whatever dollars to Donald Trump.
It is a form of election interference. It is illegal. It is unconstitutional.
Whose message is getting out better? You have Democrats across MSNBC saying Trump is a felon. We call him FINO, a felon in name only, not a real felon. It's just a name that's been attached to him by the corrupt justice system in New York. And we'll see if they're able to reverse that in appeals, or if Trump has other options. But like I said, I do believe he's going to jail. But Elise Stefanik, in the meanwhile, is putting out the message. That's our message to all the voters. Give to the Trump campaign. And you'll see by the end of this video, Trump is flat out saying, don't even yell USA, USA. I just want to hear you that you're going to vote.
So I was always with you on the one in New York, the hush money trial. I don't think they should have brought that one. It was just always going to look like a sex case, and people were always just going to look at it that way.
As a member of the New York delegation and just a proud New Yorker, to file ethics complaints against Alvin Bragg, the corrupt process, the jury selection process.
We're going to get into that jury selection process and just how absurdly unfair it was. That was always going to happen because of the jury pool in New York. Just the prosecution of Trump would never have to excuse as many juries as Trump's would, because 95% of the jury pool in Manhattan was already voting for Biden. So you've already got a biased system. Even if both sides had the same amount of juries they could cancel. She's going to unpack it for you here. Here's a little more, Bill Maher.
Anyway.
That case, the Attorney General's case in New York, frankly, should have never been brought. And if his name was not Donald Trump, and if he wasn't running for president, I'm the former AG in New York, I'm telling you that case would have never been brought. And that's what is offensive to people.
It is so corrupt that in the jury selection process, the jurors were asked, do you follow any social media accounts of President Donald J. Trump? If any of them said yes, they were not allowed to serve on the jury. They were not asked that about Joe Biden. They jury shopped, and then they illegally judge shopped.
Imagine how bizarre and illegal that is to jury shop in that way. They made sure that anyone who followed anything Trump ever did was not allowed to serve, implying that anyone who followed Biden was allowed to serve. That alone already is probably enough to get it appealed to a sane world. I don't know if the appeals court in New York is sane. I assume they're just as insane. This is going to all work out before the election. This is still a battle in media that's going to sway this election. That's why we keep doing videos on it. I'm keeping the message out there, guys. The Democrats have not emptied their arsenal yet on Trump regarding this Alvin Bragg case, because they're going to go throw him in jail. Then they're going to start making cases that someone in jail cannot run for president. They're going to make, I'll go into the constitutional side of this thing someday, but it's insane what their stacking plan is. And eventually it's going to be, even if Trump wins, to deny him his election. That's what the Democrats will do. So all the stuff of their accusing his side of undermining elections, the Democrats are actually going to do that. I believe they will, if they throw Trump in jail. They're going to say, this guy, you cannot put him in office. And that those state cases that tried to remove him from the ballot as being an insurrectionist, they'll say those are state issues. This is a federal issue, so that stuff doesn't apply.
And that's what is offensive to people. And it should be, because if there's anything left, it's belief in the justice system.
The fact that this is a judge that donated to Joe Biden, it is corrupt to the core. And on top of that, the judge's direct family members are some of the chief fundraisers for radical Democrats like Adam Schiff, fundraising off of this illegal lawfare court case going after President Donald J. Trump.
Just that the ties to Judge Mershon really is the key to this appeal. He was so unfair that it'll make it easier to appeal. Still doesn't mean that the appeals court are sane.
We must save our country at the ballot box this November. It will be the American people that save the Constitution and save this country and fight back.
Remember, this is going to be fought at the ballot box. That's the theme of this whole video. You'll see it by the end. If you're on board, if you agree, if you think there's anything more important than voting, it's even more important than fundraising. It's even more important than Trump winning elections. It's going to come down to us, we the people, voting. Are you clear? Are you going to vote? That's all I want to know in the comments below, is hear you say you're going to vote. Is there anything stopping you from voting?
USA! 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 What's up, guys? USA! USA! USA!
That's the crowds outside of Philly, and they're bringing it indoors to this Trump event doing USA, USA, USA. And Trump goes, don't say USA, USA. Why would he say that? Here's why.
Don't give me any of that USA. Go out and vote. That's all I ask. Don't say USA, USA, we love Trump, USA. And then November 5th comes along, or any of the previous days, you know, the early voting. And then you say, darling, I'm just a little tired. I think I'll skip the vote. You can't do that.
Is that you? You're too tired on election day? Is there anything that can stop you from voting? Let me know in the comments below. Here's the last Trump quote.
You got to vote. No USA right now. You just go out and vote. Then we'll go USA. Because then we're going to make our country great again.
And that's what counts as the vote. It's going to come down to all of us getting our neighbors, encouraging them, and stay focused on the vote. You'll see me covering the vote a lot more, because going forward between now and November 5th, that is the theme. We got to get out the vote. I'm Doug in Exile.